thing is that I find that a lot of executives and top level leaders end up getting crunched between two things because they're dealing with the board, they're dealing with oversight, they're dealing with compliance, they're dealing with government stuff. And because they're constantly in this defensive state, sometimes they forget about everything that comes down. And unfortunately, that kind of always being in a defensive posture can become part of the culture. And that's a problem.
I've been in that environment before, and it was a real challenge for everyone, right? Like, I feel like the employees, either like as a whole, we were either like heads down, you know, like a little skittish, or we were overcompensating the joy and fun, you know, to try to even it out. And it just created such a tumultuous environment. You know, it was a shame. It was a real big shame.
Yes. And because you've been there, see, I can see it. I can even see it as you're talking. You're like, yeah, I know what that was.
I know, it was just.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Peter Drucker said that culture eats strategy for breakfast. And that's because it does.
Yes.
If this is the kind of defensive culture that you have set, even inadvertently, then that's what you've got. And the problem is that culture is a lagging indicator. So by the time you see it, it's already there.
Right.
So
and a lot of times too, you know, culture doesn't necessarily come from one person, right? But it's the vision of mostly one or a handful of people.
Yes.
That it trickles down. And it's also about leading by example. So, you know, HR kind of gets a bad rap when it comes to culture. Like, you know, people think HR sets the culture, they manage it, take care of it. And like, that's not even possible.
Yeah.
It's not possible. We could do things that support the culture, right? So let's say you have a culture of like, you want your business to be really, you're passionate about mental health, right? You want your business to be, your employees to be open, have support. HR can put programs, policies, you know, in place that support that vision. But if, you know, employees have, let's say, like dedicated mental health days, because that's the program we you know, created, decided, but then they're feeling guilty taking it because leadership is like, oh, you're taking it on that day? I'm not sure that, you know, like, then that's the culture.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly right. And I think you've experienced this as well, where you're brought in and someone's like, well, fix the culture. And it's like,
yes,
there's nothing I can do with this. This is what you've created. You've got to uncreate this. Well, no, I just want you to fix it.
Yeah.
There is nothing I can do with this without your support.
Absolutely. And, you know, I've said this so many times, but like a pizza party isn't culture. I can't, I like want to wear that on a t-shirt. It's not. It's like a nice thing to do for your employees every once in a while. But like, guess what? Most people don't care. Most people don't even eat pizza because they're, you know, have dietary restrictions.
Yes.
What are you doing about those people? So,
yes,
you know, it's a Band-Aid that a lot of companies use, and they don't pay attention to what their teams actually want or need. And that ties back to empathy.
Right. And the best empathic leaders that I've seen actually will go and talk to their people. I mean, usually with a smaller business, that's not the case so much because, you know, you're more in the trenches. But if you're talking an upper level leader, they may not come down from their C-suite on high to go talk to the janitor, to go talk to the cafeteria worker, to go talk to the office staff who see what's going on every day. These people can be your absolute best information source on what the day-to-day nuts and bolts look like and why, when you threw that other, well, we value you as employees, that everybody scoffed because great, you threw us a pizza party and you gave us mental health days, but we can't take any of them. I haven't been able to take a vacation in 6 years.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that sometimes there's also this like thought process where we're not allowed to have feelings as leaders, right? It's
Yes.
not supposed to be that way. We're supposed to be strictly business, only talk to the employees when there's something business related to speak on.
Yes.
That's a horrible way to think, and that is no way to lead a business.
Yes. And that's when you get turnover.
And
And
that's when you get turnover.
now you're losing money, you're losing people. And I don't think people put enough value on institutional knowledge. You
Yep.
know?
Oh, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I couldn't
Yeah.
agree more. And I will say too, and if you're a CEO, if you're a founder, right, and you're like, I'm not a people person, I can't lead people, hire someone that can. Like, hire a COO and have everybody report into them then, or hire a general manager and have everybody report into them, and make sure that one of their main focus is to lead the team. That's
Yes.
okay. It's okay to delegate that, right? Like,
Yes.
you still have to be a little personable and accessible, but you're dealing less with the day to day. And so, do your job, focus on your job of growing the business then.
Yes.
It's okay.
Absolutely.
It's okay to outsource that.
Have you counseled people to do that? Have you run into that experience?
I have. I
Yeah.
have, yeah. And, sometimes it's not financially possible in a small business. I completely understand that. But, put that as a part of your plan then, because as your team grows, somebody needs to lead those team members. Employees want growth opportunities. They want learning opportunities. And, I hear a lot, and I've experienced this a bit, but I hear a lot about like younger generations now just want to be promoted really quickly. Like, that's all they want is just to move, 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 move. I also find though that maybe it's not just the promotion. They just want new opportunities. That doesn't have to mean promotion. That means that you're investing in their growth, you're investing in their learning, right? You're making them a more well-rounded person. That benefits your company. Do
Yes.
it.
Yes.
Put a small amount of funds aside for employee training and learning and opportunities. If you have employees that are newer to the workforce, take them along for some shadowing opportunities on certain things, right? Maybe it won't be a part of their day-to-day job, and that's fine. And maybe it will never be a part of their day-to-day job, but it'll be a new experience for them. And I really find that, like, finding out what your employees' interests are, what their strengths are, and leveraging those really helps retain talent.
Yes. Yes. And develops talent.
Yes. Yes.
You know?
Yes. Why wouldn't you want to develop your talent? You kind of get to mold them then.
Right. And
Make it work for you.
well, and that's how you develop loyalty.